December 27, 2007, the headlines in Pakistan read, Benazir Bhutto, felled by assassin's bullets. 21 others killed in suicide bombing. How important does someone have to be before they're considered assassinated instead of just murdered? What I'm trying to get at is the process of communication, or rather, effective communication. What makes communication effective? Is it our words, our intonation, or is it our body language? Regardless of your audience, simple words, as long as they're thought through, are your most effective tool of communication. It's not what you say, but how you say it. What if I'd said, the content of the speech may be significant, yet it's the tone of spoken language that is the most important factor in determining the effectiveness of communication? Doesn't that sound eloquent? Or maybe more formal? But I'm saying the exact same thing. Once people get confused, they're likely to stop listening. So to keep people on message, use short, simple words to make your meaning clear. Language affects us and our world around us. Let's take an example from history. During the First World War, people used the term shell shock to describe what we call PTSD today. Back then, shell shock was outrightly defined as a lack of moral fiber. Thus, people who suffered from the disorder feared admitting it, because really, who wants to appear weak? By the Second World War, the brass had caught on and realized that troops weren't getting treated. So they changed the definition from a lack of moral fiber to battle fatigue. Everyone gets tired, right? So it's completely acceptable to suffer from battle fatigue, whereas it's not nearly as acceptable to suffer from a lack of moral fiber. See how denotation and connotation alter our perceptions? All words have more than one meaning. The denotation, or the literal definition, and the connotation, its implication. Usually, connotation influences our word choice more than denotation. For example, take the word snake. The literal definition is limbless reptile, but the connotation may be treachery or deceit, shaped, amongst other things, by biblical beliefs. On that subject, as George Carlin said, isn't it a bit unnerving that doctors call what they do practice? What do you think when you hear the word fundamentalist? Do you think Islamic terrorism, maybe suicide bombings? In truth, though, fundamentalism is defined as strict adherence to the principles of any subject, but our use of the word has changed its meaning. Most people consider the term synonymous with freedom fighter or terrorist. So let's get to the science of this. Luckily, there's an app for that. There's 3 aspects of communication. 1, the verbal aspect, our words. 2, the vocal aspect, our intonation. And 3, the visual aspect, what listeners see, our face and body. It was Professor Albert Mehrabian that established the classic rule of spoken communication. He said that 7% of the importance goes to the words we say, the verbal component. 38% of the importance goes to our voice and tone, the vocal component. And 55% of the importance goes to the visual component. It's kind of disheartening, right? Only 7% of the importance goes to the words and the meaning of the words that I'm saying. I spent forever writing this speech. What was it that made Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech one of the greatest public speaking moments of all time? Public speaking expert Sarah Lloyd Hughes analyzes this speech and tells us that the magic came from much more than a good script. You can see the key features of the speech on the screen. You can see from King's body language that he was calm and grounded. He emanates rock-solid, unshakable confidence. The 200,000 people at the rally couldn't have pushed him off track if they tried. King believed what he was saying, and this clearly paid off, because when we think of a captivating speaker today, we think of Martin Luther King. It also takes a commanding voice to inspire thousands of people, and King's booming voice was well practiced in his preaching. Hughes says that his cadence, his pacing, and his preacher-like drama brought real passion to the speech. King's speech is also defined by bold statements and rhythmic repetition. If you watch the speech, you'll see that each repetition builds on the one before. For example, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. MLK gets progressively faster, his pace crescendoing as he nears the end. He was also incredibly adaptive. It's said that he ditched his script 10 minutes into the speech. It was this flexibility and ability to speak on the fly that allowed King to connect with his audience. He spoke with, not at, his people. It's obvious now that the speaker that is flexible and vulnerable enough to connect with the audience has the most impact. So many of us focus on our diction, what words we use. At school, we're all taught to expand our vocabularies and learn new words at every opportunity. While our ability to use flowery language is certainly important, research shows that our efforts may be better directed elsewhere. So what? Why do you care? Well, if you have a good idea and you can't express it effectively, what's the point? In order to communicate effectively, we need to make sure that all aspects of communication are working together. For example, I'm really happy to be here. In order for you to believe me, I need to use a warm, friendly tone and have a genuine smile. Without them, I'm really happy to be here. You're not going to believe me. When we're nervous, we're inconsistent. I might be telling you that I didn't steal your wallet, but if I'm sweating bullets, stuttering, and rocking back and forth, I look untrustworthy. Again, we need to make sure that all three aspects of communication are working together. So back to why do you care? There's so many people that have really good ideas, but lack the delivery skills to make them happen. On the other hand, there's so many people with delivery skills, but they have no good ideas or good content. Why else is this important? Well, as students, employees, and especially as bosses, we're going to be asked to critique things. We need to remember that a request for critique is a request for constructive criticism. As Dr. Bill Naus on Psychology Today puts it, I might tell you, you look really great today, with a genuine smile and eye contact. I could say the same words like, you look really great today. You'll know I'm being sarcastic. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Remember, the Pied Piper led the rats and children away with a sweet tune, not barked insults. Thank you.